Hello there and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky the Third. I'm the RNGenius, but you may call me Eric, and in the last episode we freed Atlas Elfiad out of a sealing stone. And we ventured into the St. Croix Forest and explored a little bit in that area. We got 2 rare drops in Kaleido Armor +1. Joshua and Kevin are equipped with it now. Also Kevin, Crimson Eye, and Crimson Eye. He's got 2 Crimson Eyes in his forehead, so... not in his forehead, good lord, that's that would be kind of odd, but in his eye sockets right there, and they're looking quite fierce. But right now we're standing in front of the door that I assume is going to be Atlas's door, so let's open it. Bring to me the girl who entrusts her feelings to her blade, only then shall the door open. Open the door? Yes. Star Chamber. Bring to me the girl who has ice cream stuck on her face. Yes, that's the one. I shall grant to you a memory fragment and my blessing. City of Bose. Huh. Interesting. Huh. Wow, that is a surprise. Annalise! Oh, Lugren!
Is something the matter? It's not like you to walk right up to the 2nd floor without even looking at the board and sit quietly like this. You're not feeling sick from eating too much ice cream or something, are you?
Don't be silly. I'm not a kid anymore, you know. What gave it away? The ice cream stuck on my face? Nah, wouldn't have been that.
Could have fooled me. I swear that you were the one who ate 3 full scoops first thing one morning and later had to go get some stomach medicine from Spence. Maybe my memory is playing tricks on me?
Yeah, let's all pretend that never happened, okay? Besides, that was back when I was a junior bracer. That was forever ago. I learned my lesson after that, I swear. Now I never have more than 1 scoop each morning.
You're not supposed to have ice cream in the morning at all, you know. Well, no matter. So, what have you been doing up here all this time anyway?
Oh, right. Well, you see, I got a letter from my papi, who lives a long way away this morning. What?
Really now? He's a swordsman if I recall, isn't he?
Yep, he's an instructor. He's really famous among sword practitioners, actually. Jung Ka-Fai of the 8 Leaves One Blade School.
Yeah, that's the one. I was familiar with the name even before meeting you, but I was quite surprised to find out you were his granddaughter. Didn't he used to live here in Liberal?
I'm surprised you know about that. I can't say I have any memories of when he was here, though. It was around when I was born, so how could I?
That long ago, I see. So, how is he doing? Well?
Judging by his letter, yeah, he's doing fine. I haven't had the chance to meet him in person for about a year now. Last time we had a chance to spar, I felt like he was totally babying me, even though he's like 70.
He really must be skilled to be treating an active bracer that way. Huh.
Ah, what's with the sudden serious face?
Oh, it's nothing all that major, but I've been wondering something for a while. Why do you stay here when you could join him?
Sorry, I'm lost.
Well, it's just that you're aiming to improve your swordsmanship, aren't you? It feels like if you have a grandfather like that, the fastest way to do that would be to go with him and polish your swords your skills at his side.
Well...
I suppose it's not my place to be telling you what may or may not be best for you. Sorry, Annalise. You needn't pay any attention to an old man like me.
No, that's not true at all. I really appreciate your advice, so please don't think it's not your place to give it. I can definitely see where you're coming from on this. I do have my reasons for being here and all. They're just a little difficult to explain.
Oh.
I do want to learn more about swordsmanship and swords in general. So in that sense, you're right that continuing to train under Poppy would be both the best and fastest course of action. But that's not all I want to do with my life. I want at least as much, if not more, to know more about it, to know more about what it means to be a bracer. I guess it's a case of wanting to learn more about swordsmanship as a bracer rather than as a swordsman, if that makes sense. Am I even doing a good job of explaining this?
No, I think I see where you're coming from now, actually.
Besides, Poppy once told me that he taught me all of the technical side of swordsmanship, forms, crafts, and that kind of stuff already. Whether I can master them or not is all down to me now. So in that sense, I feel like there's no specific need for me to train under him nowadays. Heh, of course, whether I'm really advancing in my swordsmanship now is another issue entirely. I wish I could say for sure I was, but...
Ah, I see.
Oh, what's with the silent treatment all of a sudden?
Oh, it's nothing. You're just not really one of these kids of serious discussions, so I was impressed to see you were even capable of them.
Hey, I am so capable! Besides, you were the one who kinda pushed me into talking about all this stuff first.
I'm glad I did too. Anyway, getting back to the point, what did the letter even say anyway?
Oh, right. Well, as surprising as it is, it says that I should go and see Cassius Bright.
Cassius? The one and only?
Yep, that's right. Supposedly, Poppy was invited by the Royal Army to be a guest instructor at some point a long time ago. That's when he trained Cassius, too. So ever since, they've had this kind of student-master relationship with one another. Cassius even went out of his way to go and see him 10 years ago when he decided to stop using a sword, too.
10 years ago? That would put that around when he left the army and became a bracer then. What exactly prompted him to tell you to go visit Cassius now, though?
Well, I guess he only just recently found out that Cassius has returned to the army. So now he's wondering whether he might take this opportunity to take up the sword again.
Ah, I gotcha. He wants you to go and ask for He wants you to go and ask for him.
And let him know what he says, yes.
I see. People really do end up connected in the strangest places and the funniest ways.
Ha, tell me about it. Anyway, that being said, I kinda have a favor to ask.
You want time off, I assume? Well, who am I to say no? You've got good cause to have it. I can even get in touch with the army and set up a meeting with Cassius if you want.
Really?
Really. Go along and get that truth your grandfather wants for him. But in return...
In return?
I want you to take care of every single one of the monster extermination requests on the board first.
Every single one? Aren't there like 5 of them right now?
Sure, but the monsters in this area will be no trouble at all for you as you are now. It'd be less of a problem if Grant were around, but I had to lend him to the guild over in Ruin, and he's still not back. You're gonna have to pick up the slack here in his place, especially if you want time off.
Oh, okay. Three days later. Leaston Fortress. Oh, I'm finally here. Right on time, too. Okay, let's go back Cassius. Huh? Can I help you? Well, I'm Annalise Elfiad, a bracer with the guild. I've come to meet Brigadier General Bright. I see. I believe we've been expecting you. I'll pass on that you've arrived then. You might have to wait a little before you can meet with a general, though, I'm afraid. Huh? But I'm right on time! Did something throw a schedule off? Something must have. I can't pretend to know much more than you do. But the general's a very busy man, so it's not at all unusual for things like this to happen. Anyway, like I said, I'll pass on that you've arrived, but I'm going to have to ask you to wait out here for a while. Sure, no problem. This is taking ages. I hope the meeting isn't going to end up getting cancelled or something. I really don't want to have to come all this way for nothing. I suppose if I can't meet with Cassius, I could at least go shopping in Gransel. Hehe. They should probably be getting the new lineup of stuffed toys around now. I wonder which one I should get. Maybe the bear? Or a crocodile one? Or a crocodile once in a while would be nice. Excuse me, young lady. The general can meet with you now. Really? Good day, sir. Thank you. And you must be Atlas, I assume. Yes, I am. Welcome to Leaston Fortress. The general's waiting. Please follow me. Oh, thank goodness. I seriously thought I was gonna have to go home without getting to see him. I'm terribly sorry for the wait. Well, please follow me. You got it, sir. By the way, I am terribly sorry if you hear anything coming out of my flat, because my neighbors that live on top of my flat decided to shift all their furniture around a second ago. I don't know for what reason, but let's hope they'll stop at that. I've brought your visitor, sir. Very good. You may return to your duties. Thank you, sir. I'm really sorry about the delay there, Annalise. Oh, don't be. I'm more thankful than you took the time out of your busy schedule to speak with me at all. That is the least thing I could do for someone from my old line of work. It's been a while since we last met, though, hasn't it? You've become a seasoned veteran before I knew it. Heh, I'd certainly like to think I have. I can't have Estelle soar ahead of me while she's abroad, can I? This is just what rivals do. So they do. I'll be looking forward to seeing just how much stronger the two of you can become. You won't be disappointed. Getting to the point, I was pleased to hear that old Master Kafai is still in good health. I believe it was because of him that you came here today? Yes, that's right. I didn't realize you were an acquaintance of his before this. I certainly am. In short, he's the man who taught me the way of the sword. That was over 20 years ago by this point. The first time we met was when I was back at the military academy, so I studied it under him. I still remember the harsh training sessions he gave here, at least like they were yesterday. Really? Is there any special reason you didn't say you knew him before? You knew I was his granddaughter, didn't you? I did. By the time I first met you, I had long given up the path of the sword. It didn't feel appropriate in my eyes to act as if I was a student in light of that. Oh, gotcha. I haven't seen him in about 10 years, I think. He does ride me on occasion, but how is he these days? Does he feel like that same old vim and vigor? Yeah, he really doesn't act his age at all. Still, if you'll let me get right to the point, the reason I came here is to continue the discussion he had with you 10 years ago. Oh. To tell you the truth, Poppy still laments the fact that you left the path of the sword. That was why he wrote to me that he heard you'd returned when he'd heard you'd return to the army. He wondered whether you returning to the military may mean you were also ready to pick up the sword again. So this is it. He'd like to know directly from you how you feel. Huh, I see. Well, it is a great honor that after so many years he still cares so much about an inexperienced and utterly lacking swordsman like me. And yet, I'm afraid my answer is that I still have no intention of taking up a blade again.
Huh? Can I ask you why?
You certainly can, but I'm not sure how to put my answer.
This has always been on my mind, too. I've always wondered what would prompt someone so skilled with a sword that they even gained the title Divine Blade to leave it all behind. And I don't mean to make light of your skill with your staff or say it's inferior. Nothing like that. It's just hard to wrap my head around why you did what you did. And there's a little part of me that can't accept it either. Especially now that you've returned to the army. Why can't you return to being a swordsman? Unless you believe that the staff is stronger than the sword after all?
No, not at all. It's just I just believe a staff to be a more fitting weapon for me as I am now. Staves are a symbol of protection, which are used more for keeping enemies at bay than cleaving through them.
You say that as if all swords are good for is cutting and killing. That's not true. I fight because I want to protect things just like you do. As a swordsman, as a bracer, and as myself. Are you telling me the swordsmanship Pappy has taught me isn't going to let me do that? I'm sorry, I didn't ask for you to take time out of your day so I could come and shout at you. But I can't accept what you're saying. Up until all of what happened here in Liberal, I'd never felt any doubts that swordsmanship was the right path for me. In the end, all of what happened just served to remind me how powerless I really am. And now I feel like no matter how hard I try, I'll always be a rookie. I'll never be strong enough to do what I want to do.
Now I see. Perhaps this is fate. I see Master Ka-Fi hasn't changed one bit. He's the same firecracker he always was.
What do you mean?
I'm afraid as I am now, I'm not able to answer the questions you're asking me. But I know someone else who can.
What is he planning to do out here? I really want to know who he called, too.
Ah, there you are. You're all ready to begin? Indeed I am. I never expected to have to wear this uniform again, though, especially not so soon. I'd almost think you enjoyed messing with people. Ha, I'm not doing it to bully you.
That's probably her granddad, isn't it? It's probably Ka-Fi. 'Cause he's got his instructor clothes back on?
You know as well as I do your usual work clothes aren't well suited for this kind of thing. No, never mind.
You're Colonel Richard!
Never mind.
I realize this may sound a little silly coming from a man wearing this uniform, but I am no longer a colonel, young lady. Sorry. So, Mr. Richard then, or Alan?
You can call me whatever you wish, though no need for the Mr.
Meanwhile, I believe you are Annalise, a senior bracer with a guild. You know me?
I'm not the former commander of the intelligence division for nothing.
I know all about the bracers in this country. I see. But how did you end up being here?
Actually, Richard was who I was meeting just before I spoke with you.
Really? In short, I've decided to start up a new research company as a civilian. So, while I may not be part of the army anymore, I can definitely see myself continuing to need to work with it in the future. So I decided to come here in order to discuss the matter with Cassius in the hopes of maintaining a good relationship between us in the future.
Oh, I get it now.
Wait, is the person you mentioned earlier?
That's right. I want the two of you to fight one another.
Wait a second, this is all a bit sudden, isn't it? Especially if I'm going to be fighting the famous Colonel Richard.
Is that so? You don't want to know the answer to the question you asked me earlier, then?
Huh?
I believe any doubts you have towards swordsmanship can only be dispelled through using it. Focus not on whether you win or lose, but on pouring all you have into the battle, and you should find the answers you seek. Huh. Alright then. I'm not sure I'll make much of an opponent, but I'll do what I can. It's not every day one has the chance to test their skills against a relative of the 8 Leaf School founder. I'm eager to see what you can do. Begin! Right! So, I was told the battle result from Julia versus Miller weren't particularly relevant. There would have been dialogue, but there would have not been a special draw. But the next one-on-one battle I get into, I should focus on winning it. If I lose, I should try again and win. So here we are, fighting Richard, 14,000 HP. He has no weakness in terms of elements. We don't know about time and all that jazz. We have Alice. Her arts are healing, which is nice. She has 200 EP, huh? She has lost Mobius, Earthlance, Aerial, and the healing is definitely going to be extremely valuable. We have 8 Leaf Blitz, we have Swordsman Slash, which is not going to be good here. We have Attack Delay, which is great, but it costs 35 CP, and Petal Dance, which is not what I'm going to do right now, because Colonel Richard is probably going to use an Assbreaker, and I only have 10,000 HP. So, we're going to start with an 8 Leaf Blitz, or are we going to start with Fawn Leaves? I'm gonna try this. It's not a lot of damage. Don't make me die with honor, please? That's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. I'm not getting any use out of those additional 500 here. Okay, that is the attack delay that hit him. No, that's his using an Assbreaker, and thus wait, what items do I have in my inventory? That is important. 2 Tiara Bombs, 2000 HP. That's gonna be horrible. Okay, time for a Petal Dance. The next Assbreaker is gonna hurt like hell, but let's hope that that takes a little bit till I have to go up against that. Let's use Crafts and 8 Leaf Blitz. Da! You're done, 1,500. Don't turn your back to him. Fawn Leaves did like nothing, so I'm not gonna do it again. Ouch. Why do you have 2 goes? Am I gonna do one more? After I heal, I will be using my Assbreaker, but only after I heal. And use another time do I wait for 200 CP though? It might be worth. I think I wait for 200 CP with my buff. My buff is gone. It's not worth using my Assbreaker right now. So now we're just waiting for him to use his Assbreaker. So we don't take the Assbreaker in the front while we have a damage debuff. Also, my damage without that, like without the damage up, it's kind of not that good. I think it's worth using a Tiara Bomb just to, you know, waste a little bit of time. Okay. You can do that all you like, but... Ugh, movement is not an option. Is movement an option? What happens if I go down here? Nope, he's able to attack me, so... Movement is not an option. I had to try, okay? I had to. Are you gonna use your attack again, or are you not? It's not what I'm waiting for. I feel like I'm making a horrible mistake happen here. Well... Let's hope I'm not. I don't want to have a defense debuff while he uses his ass breaker. Ah, hell. Strength up plus 50% is too valuable. Too valuable. Let's see what kind of damage that does. Now he's gonna get 2 attacks, and he will finish me off if he uses a normal attack and then his ass breaker with my damage debuff, or my defense debuff. I can't heal that quickly. Should do about 3,000? 4,000 even, nice. Golden. Ow. It's a lot of damage. Oh, I can use it instantly. Nice. So Analyst does have pretty damn great speed. Didn't even heal me to full. Don't take my buff away. Don't take my buff away. They took my buff away. Went ahead and took my buff away. Play it safe or... Play it safe. Is he gonna use his ass breaker again? Is he gonna do that? At this point he shouldn't... At this point he should not have anything that has him kill me. And imagine that doing 130 damage, 130% of damage. Or it's not even just that it's not even calculated that way. It does much more when I'm 30% defense down. I can not use Tier-All again, but I'm gonna use Tiara. And then I'm gonna do my attack buff, and then I'm gonna hit him twice. So, this fight was significantly easier than Müller. But Müller was possible too. Hey. Hey. You know I'm gonna give you that back, all of it. Here I go! I wonder why she turns around. Why she turns her back to him every time she does that attack. Nice. That is experience. Nice. Level 90. What happened, Analyst? Nothing. Holy crap! I did it! Well, it looks like my skills still have a lot of room for improvement. Alright, the victor is decided. Sheath your blades. So, Analyst, how did his swordsmanship appear to you?
Well, he fights using the Eight Leaves School's 5th form, Morning Moon. He's made a few changes to the standard form, but it's largely a style based around sword drawing techniques. Well, okay, I noticed a bit more than just technical details like that.
What did you notice?
One thing I realized while fighting him. Richard swings his sword as if perfectly synchronized to my breathing. The second I go on the offense, he reacts without fail. In that sense, it feels like his swordsmanship is much more defensive than offensive, I suppose. That defense stance matches perfectly with the form he uses in combat, and the result is very natural, very powerful swordsmanship.
Oh.
What I can't work out is why you're so focused on fighting defensively to begin with. I mean, I assume it's because you want to protect something, but what?
Analyst.
Yes?
I wield a sword for but one single reason. That reason is to protect this country.
Huh.
Everyone has at least something that they wish to protect in this world. Perhaps that is a person, such as their family or loved ones. Perhaps it's a belief or ideology that they hold dear. And just as the things we seek to protect are different, so too are the ways we choose to do it. In my case, the way I choose to protect what I care about just happens to perfectly suit the defense swordsmanship you noticed. The defensive swordsmanship. Although I can only imagine how comical it must sound to hear a criminal who threatened this nation talk about wanting to protect it.
Well, not really.
Richard, you... Please don't say anything, General. Her Majesty may have chosen to pardon me for what I did, but that doesn't make those crimes simply disappear. Still, just as your desire to protect Liberal remained even after leaving the army, I can't completely turn my back on mine. It was so that I could do so that I resolved to leave the army then. The army even.
It was?
You see, Analyst, to me, one's position in life is just a means to an end, a way of which to achieve whatever you wish to do. I think that's true for one's choice of weapon as well, wouldn't you agree?
Well...
What's important isn't what weapon you choose, but what you use it to do. What inspires you to take it up and use it to fight. The reason I chose to put my sword aside and take up a staff is those feelings had changed, that is all. So, Analyst, any more thoughts?
I should use my sword in the way that best fits me, to do what I want. That's what you're trying to say, right?
Sure is, you beat me to it. You're Master Ka-Fai's granddaughter, all right. You're very quick to catch on to things.
I'm just as quick at forgetting things too, though. But I finally get where you're coming from.
Really? Huh. I'm happy to hear that. Could I ask you to pass my answer on to Master Ka-Fai then?
Consider it done. I'm sure he'll understand.
Then again, would you be opposed, Richard?
Not at all. I've always inherited the way of the sword itself from you. It's only right that someone else should inherit that. What are you talking about?
Well, that's settled. Would you accept this, Analyst?
Cassius handed Analyst the Genu. What's this?
It's a blade I once used myself. I think it would be much happier in the hands of an active practitioner of swordsmanship than in my own at this point.
Wait a second. I couldn't possibly accept this. Surely if anyone should be taking it off of you, it should be Richard.
Perhaps on the surface, but how things are on the surface is not what is always most important. I thought you had just learned that fact.
I'm not sure the lessons I learned earlier have anything to do with this.
There's no need to think so seriously about this, Analyst. All you need to do is take up this blade and use it to do what you want to do, in the way you choose to do it. That's all anyone expects of you.
To do what I want to do, in the way I choose to do it. Huh. Well, if you insist, I'd be happy to accept it. I feel I've learned a lot today from having the opportunity to face off against you. I do hope I'll have the chance again one day. So do I.
Well, you both have to make sure you don't neglect your training then.
Of course. I wouldn't dream of giving any less than 100%.
Really, it sounds like that was quite the fruitful experience.
It sure was. I'm guessing this was Papa's plan all along. He knew exactly what would happen if I went to ask Cassius what I did, and that's why he asked. I must have sounded a little unsure of myself in the last letter I wrote him.
I see. Like master, like pupil. Incidentally, while I hate to spring this on you before you've even had the chance to settle back in, a lot of work built up on the past couple of days. There's even a request from the mayor too, so I really need you to get right on it all.
Ah!
If anything, you should be grateful. All this work will give you a chance to refine your skills with that new mindset of yours, won't it?
Haha, that's one way of looking at it, sure. So, Papi, well, I bet you knew all along it looks like Cassius has no intentions of taking up the way of the sword ever again. But thanks to seeing him, I ended up being given a chance to re-examine my own swordsmanship. Up until now, I thought it was all about getting stronger or faster, things like that. But now, I finally realized that what's far more important than either of those things is why you take up your sword in the first place, your feelings. I feel like now I finally understand why I was never able to defeat you, no matter how many times we fought. I might not be the best student in the world, but I'll keep giving my training all I've got. Love, Endless. Side story Swordsmanship finished. Received Genu 5000 Mira. I wonder what happens if you don't defeat Colonel Richard. Do you not get Genu at that point? What is Genu? What? So that's a little better. An old blade for training that once belonged to Cassius. No wonder he was damn strong. He had a blade that has plus 1000 strength on it. What? Jesus, that's a lot of damage. That's very nice. I'm glad I beat Colonel Richards. I don't know if that was tied to him being beaten by me, but I mean, we're doing pretty good right now. We're doing pretty good. In terms of, it was a moon door. Bring to me the girl who shines like the sun, and may the boy who cherishes that light be at her side. We're gonna teleport there. And now we are in St. Croix Forest again. And I think I have achieved everything I wanted to achieve. For the moment, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I will see you in the next episode as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time. Until then, bye-bye.